From proof that Minions might secretly betray Gru for a new master, to the disturbing truth about how Minions actually reproduce, today we're breaking down 10 wild secrets from the Minions and Despicable Me universe. But first, if Kevin, Stuart, or Bob is your favorite, drop a banana emoji. And if you're obsessed with this franchise as much as we are, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Number 1. Kevin, Stuart, and Bob secretly returned in Minions and Monsters. Did you know the original trio never actually left? When the trailer for Minions and Monsters first dropped, fans were furious that it followed a completely different group of minions, and since the film is set in the early 1900s, there was no way Gru himself could even appear, but despite all of that, the original three still managed to sneak in a cameo. During the mid-credits scene, we get several quick moments with them. Kevin, Stuart, and Bob using a spellbook to turn Gru's dog against him, Bob and Agnes conjuring a bunny monster they tame with hugs, and Bob and Stuart transforming human Gru into a cat, a sheep, and even a pig. When Gru finally catches them in the act, they use one last spell to strip him completely naked. So, while they weren't the focus of the film, Illumination clearly didn't forget about them, and they're still very much part of this universe. Number 2. Are Minions about to betray Gru for a new master? The Minions might be planning their next betrayal already. Ever since they were created, Minions have only ever followed the single most powerful villain available, jumping from a Tyrannosaurus Rex to vampires to Scarlet Overkill, and eventually to Gru. But here's the problem. Gru no longer fits what they're looking for. He gave up villainy entirely, settled down to raise 4 daughters, and even joined the AVL, an agency built to hunt down bad guys exactly like his old self. This isn't even the first time they've reacted to this. The Minions have already staged a full strike once before, abandoning Gru completely until they crashed a talent show, got thrown in prison, and were forced to crawl back just to survive. But now, in Despicable Me 4, a new candidate has entered the picture, Poppy Prescott, Gru's new neighbor, who gets along with both Gru and the Minions, and was accepted into Lycée Pablo for her natural talent in villainy. Once she graduates into a fully formed villain, is it really a stretch to think the Minions strike again, and this time, side with her instead? Number 3. Bob is secretly the only female Minion. What if I told you Bob has been a girl this entire time? Look at the scene where the Minions can't get plane tickets. Kevin and Stuart disguise themselves as male flight crew, while Bob dresses as a flight attendant because Bob is actually the only female Minion in the group. First, Bob physically stands apart from the others. He has almost no hair compared to the rest, and his eyes are a completely different color. Second, his entire personality is noticeably gentler. He carries a teddy bear named Tim everywhere, even while sleeping, and he's consistently softer during chaos compared to the rest of the group. He's kind to nearly every creature he meets, gently petting a sewer rat and even inviting it along on their journey, and somehow even Gru's vicious attack dog calms down completely around him. He's also visibly timid, afraid to sleep alone, and Scarlet is even shown reading him bedtime stories at one point, and the other Minions clearly treat him differently too. Kevin wipes his face clean when it gets dirty, carries him on his back when he's tired, and Stuart steps in to chase bees away whenever they target him. So, does this change how you see Bob? Number 4. Did a Minion accidentally invent Lego? Did you catch this in the new Minions trailer? In a flashback to when the Minions served a giant Cyclops while everyone else works, James is off doing something completely different, building small colorful blocks into a gift for his boss, one piece representing the Cyclops, the others representing the Minions themselves. It's basically a prehistoric version of Lego. The problem is, the Cyclops couldn't care less and immediately steps on James's creation. But instead of crushing it, one block gets lodged in his foot, sending him hopping in pain straight into one sharp object after another. The Minions try pulling the block free, only for him to stumble backward onto yet another one, sending him flying off a cliff directly into a field of spikes. So, while everyone assumed James was just the odd, creative Minion of the group, he also accidentally became the one who killed their entire boss. If you're catching all these details, drop where you're watching from in the comments, because the next few secrets get even wilder. Number 5. A Minion actually became the boss of other Minions. Here's something that breaks the Minions' entire identity. Since the very beginning, every single Minion has existed for one purpose: to serve the most evil boss they can find. That is, until the new Minions and Monsters movie. This new group keeps getting their bosses killed or banished, to the point where they can't find anyone left to serve.
Find any more evil masters to serve.
So one Minion steps up to fill the role himself, a mean-spirited Minion named Dick, who despises James and Henry for constantly laughing and goofing off. Tensions boil over until Ed straight up punches Dick, and the group spirals into chaos over who's actually in charge, briefly following a random robber, then a movie director, both of whom fail spectacularly. Eventually, Dick takes control again, and after rejecting James and Henry's pitch to make their own movie, he leads the group to their new evil boss, finally settling back into doing what he does best, serving as a Minion instead of leading one. Number 6. Ranking the 5 strongest Mega Minions. Did you know Mega Dave isn't even the strongest one? At number 5, Mega Gus turns his head into a hard cone, giving the team their only real air advantage. He flies through the sky like a rocket at supersonic speed and drills straight through almost any defense as a top-tier attacker. At number 4, Mega Jerry's entire body is made of rock, giving him maxed out defense along with the power to swallow objects whole. He can transform into an unbreakable rock ball, roll through anything in his path, and even digest heavy metal and building materials. At number 3, Mega Tim's body stretches almost endlessly, making him immune to most blunt attacks. He can extend his arms hundreds of meters to grab things across entire city blocks, and his stretchy body doubles as an airbag that absorbs impact from massive falls. At number 2, Mega Dave's entire body converts into pure muscle, giving him extreme physical strength. With his giant arms, he can lift and throw heavy cars with ease and rip straight through bulletproof steel like paper. But even with all of that raw power, he still doesn't take the top spot, because number 1 is strong enough to slice a solid skyscraper clean in half in a matter of seconds. Who do you think holds that top position? Number 7, the disturbing truth about how minions reproduce. Have you ever wondered how the minions actually multiply? These little creatures have no visible gender, yet they're clearly capable of reproducing. When they first met Gru, there were only a small handful of them that could fit in his backyard. Later, they somehow filled an enormous underground laboratory to the brim. Here's the theory. Stuart once gained the power of the Zodiac Stone and laid multiple eggs, one of which hatched into a baby minion. Even after the Zodiac Stone's power was taken away, that baby minion remained, and minion infants have appeared in official movie footage since. This strongly suggests minions can split directly to create new baby minions, almost like biological cell division. And in Minions and Monsters, there's a creature that looks remarkably similar to them, a yellow slime blob covered in countless eyes, summoned from ancient times, that clearly reproduces through the exact same kind of division. Could this ancient creature actually be the true ancestor of every minion we've ever seen? Number 8, ranking the 5 most powerful villains in the franchise. Have you ever actually ranked the villains by power instead of popularity? At number 5, Gru is honestly one of the weaker villains on this list. Lucy defeats him using only 2 gadgets, and he consistently needs his team to bail him out of every crisis. At number 4, Victor has genuinely advanced equipment and a sharp eye for opportunity, tricking Gru multiple times, but his overconfidence eventually leaves him stranded on the moon. At number 3, El Macho once ruled an entire territory through raw strength and sharp instincts, and he's the only villain who ever uncovered Lucy and Gru's secret identities ahead of time. At number 2, Maximilian Lamal transforms himself into a mantis with extraordinary combat ability, effortlessly slicing through iron bars, and his insect ray can turn anyone into obedient bug servants. But somehow, none of them take the top spot, because the minions themselves rank number 1. Their heads are practically indestructible. Their bodies are elastic enough to sustain 0 damage, even when stretched to extremes. And after years alongside the Doctor, they've picked up enough engineering skill to build fully functional kid-sized motorcycles from scratch. Number 9, some minions are secretly mechanical, not alive. Here's a theory that changes how you see every minion on screen. What if some of them aren't even alive anymore, quietly replaced with mechanical duplicates built by the Doctor? The clearest evidence is that certain minions visibly light up while charging, meaning they must have batteries and internal circuitry. On top of that, one minion sets itself on fire with a flamethrower, while the others around it show 0 panic, strongly suggesting everyone already knew it couldn't actually be harmed. Compare that to another minion who passes out cold from the Doctor's fart gun, proof that it still needs to breathe like a real living creature. Meanwhile, a different minion survives perfectly fine in outer space with no oxygen at all, which points to a newer mechanical model built for those conditions. Even more telling, 2 minions compete to see who can fall faster from the sky and casually ride a bomb at the end, completely unfazed, while 3 other minions panic and flee in real fear after accidentally triggering an explosion. So, which minions do you think are actually alive, and which ones are just very convincing machines? Number 10. Have you ever noticed that the minions and the giant monster Irene share the exact same eyes? What if Irene is actually where minions originally came from? First, the physical similarities are hard to ignore. Both share the same eye shape and the same yellow coloring, with Irene ancient liquid-like body shifting shape at will, not unlike how minions snap back to normal after being stretched or twisted completely out of shape. Second, Irene shows an unusual level of restraint around minions specifically. After waking up, it rampages through entire buildings, yet never once harms a single minion, even allowing them to breathe safely inside its body and drive vehicles through it completely unharmed, almost like an elder protecting its own younger generation. And finally, both seem to exist outside normal life and death entirely. Irene is an ancient, dormant beast that conventional weapons can't destroy, healing itself instantly from any damage, while minions have survived since the age of the dinosaurs, withstanding explosions, experience freezing cold, the vacuum of space, and crushing force without ever dying of natural causes. So, is there a real ancestral connection here, or is this just an animation coincidence? And that's it. Which one of these secrets caught you completely off guard? Let me know in the comments. If you want part 2, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed, because there's still so much more hidden in this universe.